Hey everyone, this is my Patreon proud reaction to the 8th episode of Danshi Koukousei no Nichijou, or Daily Lives of High School Boys. So, in the last episode, we had more silly shenanigans like Dragon Quest role-playing. I think it may have become something else entirely at some point. We also had some sibling stuff with Tadakuni's little sister, Yoshi Take's older sister, I think it was, and Hidenori's older brother having a bit of a talk about stolen panties and other various things, and yeah, that did not go well. Also had a bit of wrestling between book-loving girl and Hidenori, which was quite enjoyable as well. And yeah, I think we also had some funky high school girl stuff where they were learning how to be cute moe ditzy girls, and hopefully they took away some valuable lessons from that. But yeah, we're here for this episode, so let's watch it. 3, 2, 1, play. Oh, okay. High school boys and Motoharu's sister. Ah, the violent one, okay. I know that's not very specific in this show, but... Yes. No? I don't think I have. Yeah, I don't. I'm not sure either. I mean, I've heard of Kyun, like moe Kyun. That was a reasonable guess. Oh, yeah, that's basically the same thing. Because she brought it up. The real question is why you don't have eyes, but... or at least, you know, you. Yeah, I think it's springtime with, you know... Dougie? What are you thinking? Are you thinking you want the dog? You want to pet the dog? Okay. I see what her preferences are. She likes some furry. Fair enough. I'm not one to knock someone's preferences, so you know, you do you, girl. You know, sometimes I'm tempted to try to sing along with the Japanese lyrics, but then I remember how disastrous that would go if I did it. Yeah, Bakamitai indeed if I did that. Love Ringo's pouty face she makes there for a second. You know, before getting just angry. I know I'm just so blinding you girls can't look directly at me. I get that a lot. At least that's why I tell myself the girls don't look at me. I wonder if we'll get another encounter between Hidenori and Book Girl. The last one was amazing, so I kind of hope for that. High school boys in Mitsuo's troubles. Wasn't that the guy that was kind of mocked in the last episode? Yeah, we didn't mean to make fun of you. What are we talking about specifically here? Well, yeah, you could get, you know, what was it called? Chemo, Mimi? Cat ears and stuff? Camel ears? Minor issues are a big deal in fiction in general, so... Just gonna sulk by yourself on the swing set? I can dig it. Of course, you gotta have a sunset. You know, really set that mood. You know, your parents are gonna worry about you. Just follow that star home. Probably the North Star. That was rude. They came back. Really? That must have been boring. Oh. Well, that's a little bit awkward. Ow. So I can understand why he wouldn't want to go home, but you gotta deal with it. High school boys and manga. It translates as comics, but it's manga. I'm not surprised to hear that. Yeah, it's almost like you guys are in a manga. Well, they were before coming to the anime. Well, you're reading manga. Something. Does it have cute girls in it? And at least an adequate amount of panty shots. Those are kind of requirements. You know, if you want me to read it. Not the best art ever, but... That's asking for a lot. Especially, you know, in current year. At least do your best. It's a friend's work. You could try to open your eyes, it'd probably help. Well, not everyone's, you know, a reviewer. Yeah. Yeah, you know. You can get away with a lot in manga and anime. There you go. Ah, well, that showed him. That'll teach him to criticize. You know, after asking for his feedback specifically. Now call the cops. Well, ouch. Hang in there indeed. Balconies. Okay. Like a childhood friend thing where your childhood friend lives in the house next door to you, just and you know, speak to each other on the balconies. Because I know that's a thing in anime. Have it back. You didn't know he just watches. I swear I will. So why don't you believe me? I know, right? This is such an anime and manga situation. Next door neighbor, childhood friend. Yeah, just go home. Unfortunately, not everyone can have such a wonderful life. Do I have to draw these characters' eyes myself because it's starting to bug me? What? Yeah, what was that? An explosion? Oh, jeez. What do you... What? Why? What is this accomplishing? Yeah, you explain yourself. Um, okay. Yeah, but I've seen anime characters do that before. Come on, I want at least a little bit of this cliche situation. I don't care. Give me the DVD. Uh, I knew he was. I knew he wasn't gonna let that go. Well, you had to try, right? Even though it's like 8:30 at night, which I guess not that late, but well, he did his best. Maybe next time we'll get that DVD. I mean, if he's lucky, he might even get a Blu-ray. Person Mart. What are we gonna do with convenience stores? Does someone we know work there? No. At least he has eyes, that's an improvement. What's up? Is it broken? Are you just incompetent? Yeah, I got nothing better to do. I'm a high school boy. There we go. Oh. A lot of change. I don't think that's like... That is not the change. That is nowhere near the change. Your math skills leave something to be desired. And there's kind of a line. But yeah, you need to get your change back. I don't care if it takes a little bit longer. Yeah, but you still need your money back. I think you might be exaggerating. He's not gonna bite, you're an employee. Again, I think you're worrying too much. If that does happen, it's not your fault. It's not your problem. It's probably not gonna... Oh, well, at least that's something. Yeah, I saw that coming. He definitely looked like a manager, but, that's just an assumption. That's a good question. Interesting group we have here. Oh, okay. Somebody obviously threw it. Cute. I want to see the scene that led to this. Oh. Wow. That's great. Make her beat on bottom. Yeah, that would totally happen in anime. Apparently, I mean, we already established she's strong, so... You should be able to get it close, just jump. Well, all you had to do was both jump. Like, you jump from bottom, and then after your guys are in the air, he jumps, then it should be enough. But, yeah, that's a lot of weight. Come on, just do it. A three-way with her on bottom. Gotta love it. In public, no less. Outside. No, that didn't work. Yeah. Well, that didn't help. That was the opposite of helping. I love the look on her face. Well, now we just have to track down the tree. That's the only way we're gonna resolve this. But that's a matter for later. Or just a matter for off screen. Ooh, cake. Do high school boys like cake? I know high school girls like cake. But in anime, it seems like guys don't really like sweets, or at least they're not supposed to. A cute high school girl. Harakuni's little sister, just say that. Then she'll be behind the door and listening on that, and it'll be great. I know it's not gonna happen, but that'd be funny. Why? I don't think that's ever been a thing I wanted to do. Like, Maybe I'd like to see someone else do it, like a girl, but I myself wouldn't want to do it. Oh, happy birthday. Hopefully there's a stripper inside. She'll have to be pretty small though, but I have faith. Uh, well, there you go. At least you tried. Well, there you go. I'd still call that a bit of a waste, but I guess it's better than throwing it away. And it was a cake, not a pie. High school boys and horoscopes. Again, do high school boys care about that thing? I know high school girls do. Wow, that does sound bad. That'd be pretty dark for a comedy anime, so I doubt it. Oh no, you're allergic to bees? Flick it off. Come here, I'll give you a kiss. uh, that's... That's... Ah! That is horrible, man. Why would you do that to your friend? That is a horrible way to start your day. Yeah, we totally did not have a bee kiss. Yeah, I mean, there's no other way to resolve that situation. Money? Yeah, I don't get it either. Okay. Yeah, that bee first kiss was unpleasant. Another one? Okay. Are we gonna deal with it the same way as last time? At least find a girl to do that too. Or, you know, someone else. Ouch! That can't be pleasant. Or, you know, daily bird lives. Where are we? I didn't know I was watching Attack on Titan. I'm sorry, what were you saying? I wasn't paying attention. I am curious what he's talking about specifically. The cockroach? Yeah. Of course. Usually I just squish it. Ugh. Oh, a centipede. Oh, that's kind of worse. Because you wanted revenge to be best served cold? Okay, you wanted to make sure that death was as quick as possible. Some terrifying stuff, strangely enough. Wow, this is just getting worse and worse. It's not like the worst thing ever. It definitely is. Point of infiltration. Would you even be able to find that? Oh, girl. I see girl. It's probably her fault too. She's cute though. Oh no. Oh god, no. That is... Run away. That's not funny, that's terrifying. How did I get a... Never mind. You can tell she's thoroughly entertained by this. Yeah, that. Hairball attack! Which somehow makes people bleed, I guess. Congrats. Oh. And the end. Great play, everyone. I'm really glad that just like randomly shows the audience because it makes it so much better. And here we go, our high school girls smell, are funky. I still just love the little intro. So what are we up to today? Ramen. Just ramen. Okay. I've heard Koizumi loves ramen, but... Of course not. What? Oh. Okay. Girl fight. Let's bring it. Oh god. I guess we just kind of skipped over it. Yeah, don't let the vomit and me huddling over in pain fool you. So what are you good at anyway? Anything at all? Besides vomiting? Oh god, that sounds awful. Do you want to eat right now? Good god, those are huge bowls. Yeah, Keikaku Dori. All going to plan. Who are you? I saw that coming. So funny though. Yeah, sometimes the jokes in this are predictable, but, you know. A great pose. I love it. So we're not done yet. Oh, skirts. I love the title for this one. Let's go. Let's go. I know, right? We really should at least cut that length in half. You really need to have short skirts in anime. Shorten them a lot. Okay. No, further. We must go further. Yes! Yes. Even that's not enough, though. Okay, yeah, you do it kind of silly. You didn't do it right, but... That's amazing. You're supposed to just, like, roll it up. You don't really do it like that. Just take the skirt off entirely. We can't solve it. Just take it off. Is that gonna happen? You know, I don't get this. I haven't seen the panda shot yet, which is what's upsetting me. Wow, everyone showed up. Sucks to be you guys, and sucks to be me because I didn't get to see it. So that was the 8th episode of Daily Lives of High School Boys. And the first skit we had was a little bit of sibling bonding time between Motoharu and Motoharu's sister. And they had a bit of a discussion about Zakyun. The fact that apparently her heart's never been Zakyuned before. But that all changed when she saw that dog, and I guess it was love at first sight. And I mean, I wasn't going to ship this girl with anyone, but I guess we have a ship for her now, the dog, so, you know, I wish you two the best of luck. Okay, next skit, we had Mitsuo, the return of him. I do think that was a guy from last episode where he wore Habara's shoes for, like, the rest of middle school, and they were just kind of making fun of him in general. But anyway, this scene was about him, and apparently he has his own troubles this episode, which... Obviously, the entire skit was done basically with us in the dark about what the specifics were. We just knew something happened, and he apparently did not want to go home. Which is understandable once we found out actually what it was. He apparently had his parents find his porn mags, as he put it, which is definitely awkward. I mean, it's kind of... It's a little bit weird to talk about porn mags in this day and age because most of that stuff you kind of have digitally, you know? You have your computer or your laptop or your smartphone or whatever device you use that hooks up to the internet. That's usually where you have it these days. We're kind of past the old school days of hiding them under your pillow or your bed or your mattress or in the ceiling, whatever. You just have it on a hard drive, you know, encrypted, behind a password and all that. So I think he needs to get on with the times. You know, maybe he would have this issue not happen as much because it's much harder to stumble upon, you know, porn mags when they're in digital form. So I do think you should probably, you know, change that up a bit. Of course, if your parents do find your porn mags, the best way to deal with it is just say, yeah, I like naked girls, you know, I'm a high school boy, that's completely natural, you know, these are mine, don't take them away from me, and then you run away and then move to some foreign country where your parents can't take them away from you. That's really how you should deal with that situation. Next, we had a scene of Hidenori trying his hand at manga because, you know, he sees people similar to himself in manga just living more interesting lives, so I guess he figured he'd try his hand at making one himself. And he did, and he gave it over to Yoshitake to get his thoughts on it. For a while, Yoshitake was being very vague, he didn't really want to give any concrete feedback, probably because he didn't want to get hurt, but he ended up doing it anyway, and he ended up getting hurt, so that was not a good scene for Yoshitake. He probably should have just left when he had the chance, but it did not how it went. Okay, next scene was probably my favorite of the episode. I'd have to think about it, but this was great. Okay, Hidenori sees a couple of childhood friends living next door to each other, having matching balconies and talking to each other about a DVD being lent and her actually watching it and stuff like that. Because yeah, that's a big thing, you know, and especially in slightly older school anime where you had your cute childhood friend living next door that you're really close with, but you're not technically a couple yet, but she likes you and you either don't know that she likes you or you don't feel the same way, one of the two. And that's just a common trope in anime, like harem anime, stuff like that. Like I know Muv Love, the visual novel, had that with Sumika, but anyway, basically Hidenori saw that he was very jealous because everybody wants to have a cute childhood friend that lives next door. That's just a wonderful thing that's great to have if you can pull that off. So what he decided to do was he was going to get a piece of that action one way or the other. So he decided he would go from his balcony to his neighbor's balcony, and he would request to borrow a DVD, basically. And despite the fact that that's quite a large jump that he barely managed to make, he almost fell to his doom. And he never even really talked to this girl before, and he suddenly just shows up over at her place unannounced asking to borrow something. And he couldn't even really think of any way to, like, you know, explain this away to where it makes any degree of sense to her. He just kept repeating, DVD please, DVD please, can I have the DVD? I don't know, that was really funny. That probably was my favorite part. This episode in general was kind of weak compared to the last episode, but that was a really good scene. I quite enjoyed that one. Now, the next skit was the whole convenience store thing. Hidenori goes to buy some stuff, and he's dealing with, like, an in-training person doesn't really know what they're doing. They're kind of messing up a lot, which did include not giving him anywhere near enough change that he should. Hidenori was panicking, not really sure how to deal with this. Apparently he didn't want to inconvenience anyone. He didn't want to inconvenience the guy with him. He didn't want to inconvenience, you know, the store. Like, he was being very considerate, I guess, really, more than you would think with his personality, but yeah, that's what he was having quite an internal conflict there, not knowing exactly how he wanted to deal with the situation. And this scene was once again an example of a scene that really relied on just one final punchline. And if you predict the punchline, it really lessens the comedy a lot. Because as soon as I saw that guy over there and he was like assuming that was a manager. Immediately I was like, that's not the manager, is it? Because he thinks it's the manager, because it looks like the manager, it's not going to be the manager, is it? Because he's relying on that being the manager. So yeah, that's an example of that. Because sometimes some of the gags in the show are a bit predictable, especially when you start to get a feel for its comedy. Like, it does like that whole, hey, this is this character, but no, it's not actually that character punchline, like they did with the fake Hidenori and Yoshitake many episodes back. And they've done it a couple times before. So that does become a little bit predictable, but, you know, so it is what it is. Now, the scene after that was actually pretty good. Okay, apparently, I want to say it was... Who was it? Tadakune's little sister, Motoharu, and Hidenori, I think it was. Yeah, I think that's who it was. Anyway, it was 3 of them, and apparently somehow Tadakune got her bag. Tadakune's little sister got her bag stuck up there. And I like that little cute blushing she was in at the time, because apparently she just got really excited and just slung it up there. Unfortunately, we didn't get to see that, which sucks. But basically, we're getting to see them try to get it. And I liked how Hidenori decided to get on top of Tadakune's little sister. That sounds really bad phrasing it like that, but he decided to do that because otherwise he had to worry about her being like, you know, Kya, baka, don't look under my skirt, that's really embarrassing, you know, that cliche thing you get in a lot of stuff like this. So he decided to just avoid that entirely and just get on top of her. Despite the fact that usually it would be the girl getting on top because guys are generally stronger and more, you know, well built to handle the weight, and girls are usually lighter on top of it, so usually it's, you know, it goes without saying that the girl would be on top. But he wanted to avoid any of that. So she goes on bottom, and she's going to deal with that. Now, Hidenori being on top of her was not enough. They still weren't big enough. I still think they might have pulled it off if Tadakune's little sister would jump in the air, and then when they reach their peak point, then Hidenori jumps in the air. I think they could have pulled it off if they did that, but oh well. In the end, decided to have Motoharu help as well. And he did his best to help, but I guess it was too much weight for our poor little girl down there, and again, they switched to a strategy to just throw their bags at it, which I could have told you would not be a good idea because what happened is what I thought would happen, and their bags got stuck too. However, it was worth it just seeing the looks on their faces afterwards, especially Tadakune's little sister's face. That was priceless. That face just screamed, yeah, this is life in a nutshell right here. And nobody saying anything, and then just the scene just kind of ended. I thought that was a pretty good scene as well. Now, the following scene was basically just a scene about pleasing Hidenori, which I guess that's fine. However, I learned more about him than I cared to know, because apparently he wants to piss his pants. That's a bit of a weird thing. I don't know why anybody would want to do that, really. I mean, I have a bit of a fetish for watching, you know, cute anime girls, you know, piss themselves, but I never had any interest in doing it myself. Like, not on the slightest. But again, people have the different preferences. I'm not going to shame anyone for that. And basically, yeah, they decided, okay, they decided to do something else to try to please him, and they ended up making a cake. However, he doesn't like sweets, so in the end, he wanted people to throw it at him, and they threw it at him, and he was satisfied. So I guess that things worked out for Hidenori, I suppose. So, the scene after that, I saw something that I didn't think I would ever see, like, ever in any anime. I saw something for the first time. That thing is one high school boy forcing a kiss with another high school boy while there's a bee on his mouth. That is not a thing I ever thought I would see. I don't know what exactly was going through his mind, why, out of all the possible solutions to deal with this problem, that's what he came to. But that's what he came to, and I guess that resolved the problem. I just don't think that was the best way to deal with it. I think there could have been better ways, like, at the very least find a girl to do that to, because that would be amazing in several ways. I mean, of course, she'd probably smack you or hit you or whatever because, you know, it's an anime, but I think that'd be a small price to pay for getting to see something that amazing. Now, the final scene apparently was Motoharu's quest to defeat the evil centipedes that are invading his house. And he goes in a lot of detail about centipedes, how they work, why he chose the killing method he chose, and the pros and cons of everything. And basically, yeah, centipedes are bad news, and he was able to take care of this one, just this one, and he wanted to figure out exactly how they were getting in. And of course, to no one's surprise, it was the girl of the household that's just letting them in through the window. You know, and there are multiple ones inside. Like, there was at least 3 of them back there, and that is some nightmare fuel right there. You don't... No, I would leave the house at that point. Like, okay, you can have it. I just get out of there. You don't want to mess with those centipedes, especially when they get into a pack in numbers, because I guess it reaches a point where you just can't deal with it. So I'll be like, hey, bye, big sister, you can have fun with that yourself, because you're the one that keeps insisting on letting them in the house, so bye-bye. So yeah, that wasn't really a funny scene, that was more of a terrifying scene, really, but it was definitely a scene. Now, this week's High School Girls Are Funky segment, it was kind of split into two parts. The first part we had Yanagi, whatever her name is. She basically was getting very competitive with another girl, Nago, who I want to say was the girl with the pizza job in like episode 1 or 2. It's been a while, so I'm not sure, but I think that's what this was. Anyway, she's, I think she got like #1 spot or whatever academically, and Yanagi very much views her as a rival. And she was, talking smack like, yeah, I got #2, but this isn't even what I'm good at. Like, if we were doing things I was actually good at, then I totally would have won, by the way. I don't care that you beat me at this, don't get the wrong idea or anything, Baka. That was totally what her reaction was, and she started to, challenge her to various things like karate, which she's supposedly good at, which I guess she's not actually good at, because she got wrecked pretty much with that, to the point where she was just vomiting everywhere. That was pretty gross. Girls vomiting is not a fetish of mine, if you were wondering. I do have a lot of them, but that's not one of them. But anyway, then she moved over to a different challenge, ramen. So apparently she's good at ramen, eating as well, but, it didn't go super well either. And the overall punchline with this was basically the whole "who are you" thing, which, once again, I saw the joke coming. I think I said it like half a second before I read it on screen. So, of course, in this case, it didn't actually ruin it that much. It was actually kind of enhanced it this time, just because it's funny that she said it, like, word for word exactly after I said it. That was still pretty funny, though, even though I did kind of see it coming. What I did love was a little transition between this to the second funky high school girl segment. Them all striking up poses and saying whatever they said there. That was really cool. I like that a lot, just like I like the High School Girls Are Funky intro that they do when they're playing their fake instruments. Both of those are really great. Okay, the second half was probably better than the first half. So, basically somebody said, hey, our skirts are far too long for anime high school girls, so we need to shorten them. Which makes sense, because short skirts in anime are a very common thing. Like, I remember a few years ago, like many years ago, I was watching anime on my computer in the living room, because that's where my computer was at the time, and my older brother made some comment about the girl having a short skirt. And I was just like, what? That's just normal skirt length, what are you talking about? It's just one of those things where you realize that you've gotten used to a lot of things, and things that seem normal to you aren't as normal to non-anime watchers, so that was kind of a bit of a moment there. I was like, I guess their skirts are kind of short, but I mean, that's fine. I don't see the problem there. I do notice long skirts, though. That is something I noticed. So I'm like, that girl's skirt is way too long. What is the problem here? Like, you can barely see any leg at all. But yeah, usually like what the girls will do to make their skirt shorter as well is they'll kind of like roll it up, and they don't just yank it up. That just looks silly. I mean, I'm half tempted to stand up and do that with my pants, but I decided that's probably not a good idea. But anyway, they did that. They just yanked it up as high as it could go, like up to their chest level. It was silly and it was cute. Ikushima especially looks cute doing that sort of thing. My only complaint with this entire scene was the fact that we didn't actually get to see that panty shot that the guys got to see. That's very disappointing, very unfortunate. But we had a bit of a meta stuff there with her basically being like, okay, I'm ready for the punchline now, ready for Habaru's brother to walk in. But little did they know it wouldn't just be him. It was him and like 5 of his friends or whatever just showing up, seeing these girls with their skirts way up high, probably getting a very nice view of their panties as well. So yeah, a bit of an embarrassing moment for them, but I'm very salty that I didn't get to see the panties. That's really what I'm upset about here. I really liked Habaru's reaction, because I don't think she did the skirt thing, but she made those sounds and just looked at the other two with that sweat drop. She's like, what am I even looking at here? Are these people being serious right now? I like Habaru's reaction. That was really fun. But yeah, that was the episode. It was, it was one of the weaker episodes of the series in general, but because it's such a great series, that still means it was still a very enjoyable episode. And yeah, good stuff. Thank you for watching, and thank you Cnouki, as well as everyone else, for doing what you can to support the channel. It means a lot to me, and I hope we can continue to grow the channel together. If you want to do more to support the channel, then you can become a patron on my Patreon and get cool rewards like early access to certain videos. Have a good one.